Okay, so building your business is a lot about building up demand for your products and services. And one of the things that we do, obviously, to build up that demand and to find your ideal audience is leveraging other people's audiences, right? Going out in the world who already talks to, already has a relationship, who already has a following of who I've deemed is my ideal target audience, who's my client, who's the person I serve the best, right? What industry are they in? What demographic? What psychographics? Like when I know who I serve, who's going to get the best value out of my programs or services, then I can put myself in front of them where they already collect, right? Where they already convene. Maybe that's at a workshop, right? Somebody else's event, somebody else's summit, somebody else's radio show, somebody else's podcast, somebody else's magazine, right? These are the things that my audience is participating in. They're going there to get value, to learn something, to connect with others like them, right? Where they feel seen and heard, right? Where they feel value, where they feel like they're in the same boat. And so we want to get discovered in front of that audience. But this really is, we've got to create that sense of urgency. We've got to create the demand for why they should follow us, why they should buy from us, why they should hang out with us, why they should work with us. And it's up to us to create that sense of urgency and that demand. And so there's a real simple formula process, step by step, kind of proven model for how we can create this demand. But I promise you, we don't go from 0 to 60, right? I open up my door and I have a flood of people who just have credit cards, like wanting to wave them at me. And I think sometimes we get a little, I don't know, enamored, discouraged, confused because we go to events, right, where we see an audience. And, in fact, I was just listening to somebody, she's like, we went to this audience, there were 2,000 people in the room. The man from stage made a, $1,000 offer, $10,000 offer, whatever the number was. And 200 people bought it. He made $3 million. And we all see that. And we're like, I want that. Like, I want to create that. Of course we do. But I promise you, he did not start here, right? He has been building up the demand for his programs, creating the audience, creating the following, creating that camaraderie and his trust and elevation. He's a superstar. He's a celebrity. The reason I named my company Vedette Global, Vedette is French for star of the show. I want you to be the celebrity in your followers' eyes, right? In their mind, you are up here because you're the one on stage. You're the one being interviewed in magazines. You're the one being seen in the news with your press releases, right? So we want to create that sense that you are the celebrity in your space, in your world. And we do that following the process, right, of 2 interviews a week, 1 press release a month. That elevates our celebrity status to our followers. But now that we've got that celebrity status, right, and now we've got followers, well, actually, we've got the visibility, we've got the exposure. And exposure is step 1, right? It's always step 1. We often think exposure is step 17, right? After I build, after I create, after I have, and I've got my book and I've got my programs and I've got my website, right? After all that, then I'll go and create the exposure. But truly, exposure is step 1. We need an audience. We need a following. When we open up our doors, who's going to buy from us? When we have a book to sell or to publish, who's going to help us become the bestseller? Right? Now, we often think, well, I'll use other people's audiences to sell my stuff. But honestly, that's not the best game plan. We use other people's audiences to find our following, to build our audience, to get them into our sales castle, right? So they're out in the kingdom, right? There's all these castles out in the kingdom. We're all like, fabulous, right? We all have different size castles, right? We all have our own castles out in the kingdom. Our job is to create the sense of urgency to get them, through the drawbridge into our castle. So number 1, step 1 is always exposure. What if I don't have a website yet? No problem. What if I don't have a product yet? No problem. What if I don't have, no problem. We have to create the audience, and then we respond to the demand with our programs, products, and services. Got it? Right? So audience first, exposure first, then the demand. then the demand, and we respond to the demand with our programs and services. We don't have to have the whole thing all filtered out or all fleshed out, right? We don't have to have the, low ticket, high value membership, mastermind retreats. Like, we don't have to have the whole thing all mapped out. We just need to knock over that first domino, right? Just the first domino. So exposure first, 2 interviews a week, 1 press release a month. Get them into our castle with the call to action that is with a freebie, right? A free thing that they are already asking you for, right? So again, answering the demand. So folks are coming to you, and once they know what you do and what they know what your expertise is, I imagine you get a lot of frequently asked questions that are the same, right? People want to pick your brain about X. So pay attention to these conversations. What are people asking you now? So often what we want to do, because we're nurturers, we're entrepreneurs, we're anxious to sell something, we want to give them the answer. So when people come, Angel, how do I get exposure? I'm like, well, here's what you do. And I could just vomit that out to them, right? Or I could say, I'm so glad you asked. In fact, I have put together a guide, the Media Starter Kit, right? A little workbook that's going to walk you through how you can open up that door for yourself, right? How to do your own PR. So I've put together the answer to the questions they're looking for. In there, I've thrown in a full year of headlines, attention-grabbing headlines that you can use to pitch to journalists, to pitch to podcasters. Also, you can use them for your email campaigns, your YouTube videos, right? So I've got a full year and a whole formula system of how you can take these 12 headlines and create 3 years, right, of emails, or a whole year of emails, right, of weekly emails. So I've given you some of the steps, some of the answers. This is what you want your free thing to be. Often we're like, well, they can get a copy of my ebook. Are they asking you for that now? Or I'm going to give them, this, I don't know, this thing that I created. Okay. Is that what they're asking you for now? If it's what your folks are asking you when they come to you, this is the question that you get, the answer you're giving, on the phone most of the time in a Zoom call. So keep a notebook, right? So keep a notebook in front of you and write down, what are the questions they ask? What is it that they want to know, right? Pay attention to those. And then put together a freebie, put together a workshop, put together a program, right? A product that serves that solution, because we really want to create a scalable business that is really something we can deliver in group, or that they can do self-service, right? DIY, right? That they can do themselves, so that we can scale this. Okay, step 1, exposure, always. Get them in your castle with a free thing that is the answer to what they're looking for, right? And so we can even then, right now, we have people that are following us. We have people on our email list. We have people in our audience, in our castle, right? Those are the people that we sell to. Not on other people's stages, unless it's a proven that that is already your target audience and that makes sense. Right? I think we're all running around trying to get on other people's stages so that we can sell. I know a lot of folks I see in my Need a Guest Facebook group, they want to get on people's podcasts so that they can fill their events, right? I need to promote my event. I need to get people to my thing. No, you get your people to your thing. You get other people's audiences into your castle so that you can add value to them, but you're not selling to them, selling to other people's, right? They've built know, like, and trust factor already with their audience. You have to still do that, right? We do quick start this. We do circumvent the process a little bit. We speed it up, actually exponentially, we speed it up, but there is still a process and there is still a step. So creating the exposure, create a freebie, a call to action, right? That gets them into your castle, gets their email address, right? Gets their phone number, so that you can follow up and invite them to the next step. On social media, what this looks like is a post, right? Either on your profile, right? To your people, your LinkedIn, your Instagram. Like, I've just created this freebie thing. Who wants it? Right? Who wants my free thing? Who wants this report I put together? Who wants this list of, in fact, somebody did the other day. She's like, I've got a whole list of Facebook groups that you can pitch yourself to, right? That you can comment in. Who wants this list for free? So think about the things that you're using Do you have a calendar of social media posts that you use? Do you have a book of recipes? That was one thing with the Sculpted Vegan. When I started following her, she's like, people just wanted recipes, right? So I gave them recipes, right? I answered the question that they're looking for. People want, how do I meet, how do I find journalists? How do I get booked? I'm like, well, here's how you do it, right? And so we answer the question that they're asking. That's the freebie. That's the call to action. We can do this in a Facebook post as well. Who wants my freebie, right? And now in the Facebook post, the way that looks like, right, is now we're creating engagement on social media. How many of you want more engagement, right? Who doesn't want more engagement on their social media posts? Because it's so busy, it's so crowded. People are just scrolling like aimlessly, and we have no idea who's seeing our stuff, right? But we can create a post on social media, right? On our page, like I can go to Angel's Tuccy's profile and go to my Instagram, right? My LinkedIn, and say, I've put together a full year of headlines you can use to pitch to the media. Who wants it, right? So we do the freebie, right? In the pitch, right? Or in the post. We do the freebie on somebody else's stage, right? In an interview, right? On a virtual summit, in a magazine, right? This is our call to action. This goes at the bottom. This is in our boilerplate, right? Who wants this free thing to get them into your castle, build your audience, create your following, right? I'm like harboring this, right? These are the people who know you, like you, trust you. They've discovered you, and now they're following you. They're in your castle, so to speak. So once we've got them there, right? So on social media, this is really great. Like if you have a book signing coming up, book launch coming up, right? My book is coming out next month. Who wants access? Who wants access to my free thing, to my free gift? Who wants access to my red carpet event? Who wants this thing that I'm giving away? Go on social media and do that post, right? Go on somebody else's stage and share that. I've got this free thing. Get them in your castle. On social media, what that looks like is now you've got people raising their hand. I want that. Me, I'm interested. Now, when they say yes, right, we've created engagement on social media, right? And so we want to respond to that and reward that behavior. Let's say you have 15 people that say, yes, I want that. To all 15 of them, you're going to respond to them right there in the Facebook group. You're going to reward that behavior. Like, I'm so glad you do. Here's the link to follow up. Here's the form. Here's how you get it. Download it from here, sign up here, enroll here, right? So we don't have their email on yet because they're following us on Facebook. So we want to get them to where they follow us on Facebook. Like we've got their email address. So that's the next step. Give them a form, give them an opt-in, give them one place where you can collect their email. In our Need a Guest group, we put a post out. We've got premium for free. Who wants it? And then we go in and we respond to every one of those the people that respond to it and say, here's the link, right? Getpremiumforfree.com, fill out this form. So you're going to create that same formula. Who wants it? Here's how you get it, right? On somebody else's stage, who wants my freebie? Here's how you get it. Send them to your opt-in, right? So all roads lead to Rome, right? As Jamie, my business partner, would say, right? All roads lead to Rome, which is getting them on your email list. Okay. So somebody else's stage, your own stage, your own social media, which is really not our stage, right? It's LinkedIn, it's Facebook, it's Instagrams, right? So bringing them so we've got exposure, somebody else's stage, social media, who wants my free thing, create demand, get them into your castle, right? So now we've got them in our castle. From here, this is where we want to now move them into becoming a client. What is the next domino that needs to drop? Right? The next domino really needs to, they need to learn what it is that you sell, right? They need to learn about what you offer. What is the next thing? What is your core offer? Or this could even be a low ticket, but really this is probably, we want to start introducing them to what you sell. So in order to introduce them to what we sell, we need to move them to a webinar, a workshop, a live event, a sales call, right? Like what's the next step in your sales process? I'm a one-to-many girl, right? I love putting on here's a workshop, right? So come and learn, right? How to do what I just taught you. I'm going to put together a 90-minute workshop and I'm going to show you more, right? I'm going to add value. So I could lead them to a workshop, online webinar, right? That could be in person or online, right? I could also lead them to a sales call, right? Now that you've gotten my freebie, let's come over here. Let's hop on a call. Let's talk about how I can serve you, right? And it's really clear about what the next step is, right? I'm going to teach you, I'm going to help you, right? We're going to move them into that next level. So if if I was to draw this out, hold on, let's see if I can draw this out.